na nakakategorize kumbaga. Depende po sa hilig
Yes.
nila. Opo.
Opo. At
Mm.
saka yung physical nilang pangangatawan, meron
Opo.
kasing tal na hindi kaya ng
Mm.
mga elderly natin kasi sobrang tarik. At
Mm.
syempre, gaya nga ng nasabi mo, Miss Angel, nakakategorize siya. Pero lahat po ay tinitingnan natin na mahalaga,
Mm.
equal footing po ito. At hinihikayat natin ang ating mga kasamahan na mga, alam nyo, wala tayong tinitingnan na tao, kung mayaman ka,
Mm.
mahirap ka, estudyante ka. Kaya nga po ang asosasyon natin ay talagang for compassion din sa lahat.
Mm. So, maganda po yun, no, na anyone, kumbaga, anyone can serve. Kasi naman, hindi naman kasi, kumbaga, obligasyon, responsibilidad ng isang tao lang yung pangangalaga ng kalikasan, no? Kasi po, specifically po sa departamento ng gobyerno, na sabihin nila na may sinusweldahan sila. Pero, alam mo yun, kung ikaw mismo yung nagpa-volunteer ng sarili mo, ang ganda sa pakiramdam na kumbaga may contribution ka, no, sa ating ah, mother nature, parang ganun po.
Tama po kayo, Ma'am Angel. Again, wala pong edad na tinitingnan, wala pong kasarian. Ano mang preference mo, pwede po tayo mag-volunteer. Ano mang edad mo, pwede po tayo mag-volunteer. Ano mang relihiyon mo, pwede po tayo mag-volunteer. Dahil at the end of the day, iisa lang po yung ating tahanan, iisa lang po ang ating mundo, iisa lang po ang hangin na hinihinga natin. Kaya lahat po, kung ako po ang tatanungin nyo, kung ang malinis na tubig ay para sa lahat, kung ang malinis na hangin ay para sa lahat, ganun rin po ang oportunidad. Oportunidad na lahat po tayo ay manirahan sa isang malinis, maayos, at sustainable na kapaligiran po.
Yes. Naku, maraming maraming salamat po sa inyong magandang pagbabahagi ng inyong karanasan at saka po yung mga activities, no, ng inyong mga kumbaga dito po sa East Compass at saka po sa mga programa ng DENR, no, mas lalo po tayong naliwanagan, no, na hindi na may categorization din po pala at saka wala pong kumbaga hindi po natin wala akong bagang discrimination, no? Lahat pwedeng sumali, lahat pwedeng makibahagi, no, sa pangangalaga ng ating inang kalikasan, Dr. Masuda.
Yes po.
Mm-hmm. So thank you po, Dr. Masuda. I hope po you can still stay with us to participate in the discussion with our SOB winners and other volunteering initiatives for the environment. So ngayon po, atin naman pong iniimbitahan ang ating pangalawang panauhin. Walang iba po, kundi si Mr. Nathaniel George Hipolito, ang Program Operation Section Head ng Manila Water Foundation. Magandang umaga po, Mr. Hipolito.
Magandang umaga, Angel. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng ating mga tagapakinig at tagapanood dito sa Radyo Moscovado. Ako po si Nix Hipolito mula sa Manila Water Foundation at nagpapasalamat kami sa PNVSCA sa imbitasyon na maging bahagi ng inyong programa ngayong umagang ito. Ang Manila Water Foundation po ang social development arm ng Manila Water Company at ang advokasya po ng Manila Water Foundation ay nasa environment din po at water access, sanitation, and hygiene. Kaya po, kami ay naiimbitahang magsalita, ang aming pagbati po sa lahat ay wash up, wash up. Ayan, wash up, wash up. Sa Manila Water Foundation po ay 21 years old na po, no? At ang aming programs po ay ayun nga po nasa kalikasan kung saan nanggagaling ang ating tubig at kung saan namin binabalik ang tubig at ang wash, no, or water access, sanitation, and hygiene.
So, excited na po ako sa ating talakayan
Yeah.
ngayong umaga. Uh-huh. Mr. Hipolito, una pong katanungan namin, how does Manila Water integrate volunteerism into its environmental sustainability and water conservation program?
Yes, thank you, Miss Angel, no. By the way, marunong ako ng konti ng Hiligay nun. So, maayong aga sa tanan, no. So, ako po ay taga Davao. So, kabalo ko magbisaya and in my past life, no, bago po ako nasa Manila Water Foundation, ako po ay nag-volunteer din po, no, sa Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation, and nakapag-travel po ako sa Visayas, kaya medyo familiar ako sa region. So, maayong aga sa tanan. Back to the question, Miss Angel, no? So in Manila Water, I could say that volunteerism is in our DNA. Katubigs po or yung mga employees ng Manila Water are very generous with their time, very generous with their talent, and even their treasure for social development initiatives. But more so about the environment because sabi ko kanina, no, kung saan ba nanggagaling ang tubig kundi nasa kalikasan. Kaya very much concerned ang ating mga katubigs at kapag may volunteer opportunities sa larangan ng kapaligiran, nandyan po lagi ang mga katubig, no. And Manila Water Foundation po leads the program called Sigla, no. And this is the citizen engagement program that of course we want to tap and to harness the spirit and the power of volunteerism for WASH and the environment. Ayan.
Okay po. Ano po ulit po yung ano po?
Sigla.
Yung
Sigla yung program. Oo,
okay.
sigla. Kasi, di ba, dapat active tayo, no? At yun po yung nililid ng Manila Water Foundation. Yes.
Okay. Sige po. So can you share po specific volunteer initiatives led by the Manila Water that contribute to protecting water resources and the environment?
Yes. So all year round, no, all year round, Manila Water, the parent company, participates in many environmentally themed events and campaigns. Nabanggit kanina ni ASEC, no, ASEC Hero yung mga ano na yun, mga events and campaigns, and Manila Water participates and supports, no. Nabanggit kanina yung International Coastal Cleanup, no, sa September po 'yan, no. So asahan niyo po na maririnig po natin sa social media at nationwide because of course as you know, the Philippines is an archipelago. Marami tayong mga coastlines na kailangan nating protektahan, no? At 'yan ay mapoprotektahan sa pamamagitan ng kapangyarihan ng volunteers, ng volunteerism. So that's that, no? So International Coastal Cleanup, of course, ang dito sa Metro Manila, alam natin ang Manila Bay. Yan po ang isa sa mahalagang pinoprotektahan natin na mahalagang water resource natin, ano. So, maraming organisasyon, maraming mga grupo nagpa-participate. And I believe it's led by the national government and multi-agency po ito, kasama ang DNR at kasama po ang Manila Water dito sa International Coastal Cleanup. And of course, in March kakatapos lang, no, World Water Day, no. So na malapit sa puso ng Manila Water itong event na to, kaya po may mga volunteering opportunities po na sinasalihan ang ating mga katubig. Ngayon, ang mga katubig volunteers naman na nililid ng Manila Water Foundation po, dahil po I'd like to take this opportunity to share and plug that Manila Water Foundation is the steward of the La Mesa Eco Park in Quezon City. So kapag nabisita po kayo dito sa Metro Manila, specifically sa Quezon City, punta po kayo sa La Mesa Eco Park, no? The Manila Water Foundation through the La Mesa Eco Park celebrates three campaigns or events po. Katatapos lang din po no March, no? The International Day of Forests. Yan. International Day of Forests is on March 21. And then, malapit na, May 22, the International Day of Biodiversity. Yan. Bakit biodiversity po? No? Kasi yun po yung aming pinopromote sa La Mesa Eco Park, biodiversity. Pero may iba pong spelling, no? Biodiversity, yung instead na S, magiging C. Because we say that the La Mesa Eco Park promotes and champions biodiversity in Quezon City. Imagine, hindi mo na kailangan lumayo or pumunta sa malayong lugar, no? Sa ibang munisipyo or sa ibang town to experience nature. So that's right here in the heart of Quezon City. Kaya further invitation na kung mapunta kayo dito sa Quezon City, do visit the La Mesa Eco Park, no? So ano na yun? International Day of Forests, International Day of Biodiversity, and World Environment Day in June. Ayan, World Environment Day. So yung tatlong events na yun ay pinangungunahan po ng Manila Water Foundation through the La Mesa Eco Park. At I'm sure marami pang mga environmental events na pwedeng salihan ng ating mga volunteers, ano. But yun po yung tatlo na yun na mahalaga para sa amin sa Manila Water Foundation.
So, dyan na po yun sa Manila. Sir, na?
Yes, but I'm sure no the DENR would want you to celebrate in your own localities no kung saan man kayo naroroon, saan mang munisipyo tayo or town to align no. Usually ano naman to nakaugat sa United Nations even no and global organizations. So check nyo lang po sa online no. So Google it and do a local celebration of these events no so that katulad ng sabi kanina ni Asik na tayo ay iisa ang ating Pilipinas no ay iisa ang ating bahay ang ating tahanan na pwede nating alagaan. So itong mga events na to maaring nandito sa Metro Manila pero we encourage you all to do a local celebration and tap the power of volunteerism in your area.
Yes, I know po, marami pong mga volunteers na gusto pong sumali, no?
Yes.
So, sa gusto pong sumali, na lang po kayo sa TNR office. Sige po, sa atin pong pangatlong katanungan, Mr. Hipolito, in what ways can communities and students actively participate in Manila Water's environmental volunteer programs?
Yes. Thank you for the question, no? And the public can stay tuned, no? By following us in our social media accounts, both sa Manila Water Foundation and the La Mesa Eco Park, no? Yung La Mesa Eco Park Facebook page po, hanapin niyo po doon yung may ibon, no? So, yun po yung inyong ila-like, no? And abangan niyo yung mga activities na yun. Now, so, yan, yung tatlong activities na nabanggit ko, that's what we celebrate. And alam niyo po ba, nung konting kwento lang doon, nung March 21, nagkaroon po tayo ng celebration ng International Day of Forest and ang amin pong inimbitahan sa La Mesa Eco Park ay ang mga SK o mga youth leaders ng aming mga kapit-barangay no sa dito sa Quezon City. Barangay Payatas, Barangay Greater Lagro, yung mga kapitbahay ng Eco Park ano. So that is an example that you can replicate no copy paste no in your communities and in your areas no. Kung hindi man kayo makakapunta dito at makaka-participate sa mga events in NCR, we highly encourage you to do the same in your localities. So, yeah, follow po the Facebook pages, no? And kahit yung pag-share lang po natin ng information kasi I suppose lahat naman tayo nasa social media natin, ano? At maaring pag ano yung nakita natin on our social media feeds can encourage us to take care of the environment, to protect no Mother Nature, protect our resources, especially water security no in our area. So you have the power and the power is in your hands no. So we can all be volunteers for nature and for the environment.
Yes po, agree po ako dyan. Maraming salamat po, Dr. Hipolito. And I hope po you can still stay to participate with the discussion and with our SOB winners under volunteering initiatives for the environment.
Salamat, Miss Angel. Wash up, wash up.
Wash up. Okay po, salamat po, Mr. Hipolito. Okay po, ngayon po, punta na po tayo sa ating pangatlong panauhin. Walang iba po kundi si Dr. Charmaine P. Mendoza, the Director, Community Extensions and Outreach Programs Office of St. Louis University. Ma'am, good morning po.
Maayong aga, as I've heard from my co-guests here. So yeah, naimbag ngagsapa, maptang jagsapa in Ibaloy, gawis ay agaw in Kankanaay since my parents are from Sagada Mountain Province and my mother is also an Ibaloy here in Baguio City. So of course, with hearts full of gratitude, we wish to extend our aglaplapusanan nga panag-ayat kada kayo amin, to our listeners, to everyone nga awan labas na. Again, maayong aga, good morning. So yeah, I am Charmaine Mendoza, your advocate for, of course, one of the strategic goals of our university is on environmental stewardship. So definitely, as an advocate, we uh, we guide our youth. So in that specific guidance, we also mentor. I, as an advisor of the Youth Council of Ecolodians, the Red Cross Youth, and of course our parish organizations, the Jesus, Others, and You. It's but proper also to share our wisdom, not just in our home, sa ating sariling tahanan, definitely sa ating paaralan, hanggang sa ma-replicate, ika nga, no, ni Sir kaninan, yung sa komunidad. At naniniwala ako na dahil bilang guro din po ako sa languages and communication with my foreign language as well, and of course, as a supervising instructor in the National Service Training Program, naniniwala ako na meron tayong kakayahang makapagbahagi, makahikayat, at makapagpakilos dahil isa yon sa mga likas na misyon natin, no? Bilang mamamayan ng bansang Pilipinas, maganda siguro na we practice it sa ating mga sarili at sa ating komunidad, syempre lalong-lalo na sa ating paaralan. And of course, not forgetting our common home, the oikos, our ecological integrity. So, yeah, I speak with humility and hoping to offer something meaningful to our viewers this morning. And with that, salamat and matagot-tagot ako, amin.
So, thank you po, Dr. Mendoza. So, ngayon po may katanungan po kami para po sa inyo. Una po dito, how does your institution integrate environmental volunteerism into its academic programs and student activities?
Ayan, kagaya nga ng mga nabanggit na mga naunang panauhin. I am also grounded with this inspiration coming from our university president and of course our vice president for mission and identity. And one of those core values we want to give emphasis not only to ourselves, others, and our community is our environmental stewardship, aligned with the SLU's CICM missionary trust on justice, peace, integrity of creation, and indigenous peoples apostolate. Not only that, as a Catholic institution with that of the GIPG concept, the justice, engaged citizenship, environmental education, poverty alleviation, gender sensitivity, youth empowerment, with those overwhelming tasks we have in our hands, definitely there is a call to action for everyone. And not just to simply listen to this call to action, but definitely to do something about it. And yeah, it is also embedded in our university's DNA, as I listened to our speakers a while ago. Kumbaga, bahagi yan ng aming sistema with that of the strategic direction of the university under our third goal, which is on SLU CICM commitment to our society. And if I may give emphasis, we have these three values, no? Three goals as stipulated in our strategic plan. First would be our SLU CICM mission and identity. And second is our quality education, Catholic quality education. And third, targeting our commitment to the society. And having said all of those, it is intentionally, purposely, systematically embedded in our core plans. So, of course, with the help of our student leaders, we try to have this as much as possible core session with our student leaders that with the help of our purpose-driven activities through plenary sessions, through focus sessions, at least we would be able to share something about these advocacies because uh, we believe that through systematic, through purposeful planning, we are serious and yeah, we are seriously engaging our community and saying that yes, indeed, this is our mission to transform our students, and not only that, our teaching and of course our non-teaching personnel. Aside from, of course, engaging with our student leaders, we are also integrating it via our curriculum service learning programs. So in the academe, it is but proper to share these environmental advocacies um, inside the classroom with that of the theory into practice engagement and with our national service training program, parish formation programs, um, institutional partnership, strategic institutional commitment. Having said all of this, so in essence, environmental volunteerism at SLU is not uh, peripheral, but definitely it's integral because it's woven into our instruction, our formation, and our community engagement. So yun lagi yung tinitignan namin na, yes, we do it inside the classroom, pero nasa anong puso, pinoproseso, and at the same time, isinasagawa. So we draw inspiration from our predecessors, those who came before us, highlighting those efforts, initiatives they did. And now we are innovating, we are replicating. So I hear those words from my guests, from our guests, co-guests a while ago. So sabi ko nga wow, ang sarap makinig sa mga ganitong pagbabahagi. Dahil isa itong paalala ng Panginoon na hindi tayo nag-iisa. Tayo ay dapat nagtutulungan, sama-sama, at sa pagtutulungan ng bawat isa, makakamit natin ang hustisya para sa kalikasan, hustisya para sa sanlibutan, ika nga, no? So yeah, to answer that, definitely it's part of our DNA, and of course, it's also um, our unspeakable gratitude to the Lord as we give back to our community, our environment.
Ako, maraming salamat po, Dr. Mendoza. So, pangalawa po nating tanong dito, no? Paano po ba, or can you share po the key initiatives or projects led by your students and faculty that promote environmental sustainability po?
Yeah, we have this overarching framework of the university titled Binadang. And just like you, we are very proud to say that Binadang is a native term because Ilocos region is using it. Of course, the Cordillera region is also using that. Hitik na hitik. Lagi natin ginagamit ang salitang binadang because binadang speaks about community solidarity. Exactly what we're doing, the bayanihan concept. Lahat ng mga nakikita natin. So it's but proper as human that innate po sa atin ang pakikipagtulungan. Kailangan lang i-activate, kailangan lang paalalahanan. So definitely that's our inspiration. Whenever we speak about Binadang, the bayanihan is there. Our care for common home. Sabi nga nila, no, sentire cum ecclesia. We are one with the church. Kasi ganun naman po yung pinapalaganap ng ating simbahan. It's but proper because as Catholic institution that we embody our care for our common home. And it can only happen if we have that compassion. We have that initiative. as I coin, no, definitely we create initiatives for compassion, and M stands for perhaps mindfulness, maturity, etc. Ang dami pong pwedeng idagdag doon, but definitely that is our driving force for us to keep going with the lot of mission we have. And aside, of course, with that Binadang program, we have these biodiversity programs under each, and one of which would be the hydroponics project. And with that hydroponics project, we tap the expertise of our CVAL, the City Veterinary Agrarian Office. Hindi po kaya yan ng St. Louis University lang. Kasi yung pagtulong na alam mong meron kang kakayahan, alam mong meron kang kasanayan, at higit sa lahat, may hustisya sa pagtulong. So yun lagi, no? Naniniwala kasi kami sa yun nga, kapangyarihan ng pakikipagtulungan, the power of collaboration, linkages, and that being said, we also partnered with the DNR with the protection of our project Gawis here at the Forbes Park sa South Drive, wherein we planted around 350 to 500 pine trees. Of course, that being said is our commitment to our partner community, which is the DNR. So maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na paggabay at sa kaalaman sa kung papaano natin mapapanatiling ligtas at malusog ang ating mga itinanim na halaman. And of course, hindi mawawala yung mga hamon with regard to planting. So one of the main challenges we're facing right now is the sustainability as mentioned a while back. But kahit naman sino nakakaranas ng mga hamon pagdating sa sustainability. So at least alam mo at meron kang ginagawa despite and in spite of. So that's just one of those projects on biodiversity. Not only that, we have the Benguet Coffee Project in Sitio Dumulpos, Tinongdan, Itogon, Benguet. This is an advocacy with our farmers, the Iwak tribe, our indigenous brothers and sisters there, with around 150 families. We were able to sustain them and nag-terminate yung aming program. But now, we are sustaining those programs with the help of still the parish. Maganda kasi yung setup ng aming university because in Northern Luzon, kami lang po yung may university. Kami yung my parish in the university, inside the university, which we are very proud of because we find it strategic in a way that we are fully grounded on the formation, education of our students. So aside from the Benguet Coffee Project with the farmers, we also have this ube-based project with that of the Banangan women in Sablan and Happy Hollow barangays. So nagpapasalamat kami sa mga partner communities namin na tinatanggap kami at sila rin nakikita nila yung kabuluhan na hindi lang ito one time big time, but definitely it takes a village to come up with this vibrant project, with this kind of impactful project that definitely with our binadang stages, if I may, isisingit ko lang. Sa binadang kasi namin, meron kaming 6 na hakbang. So from that pagtampisaw, definitely you have to know the community. That's how we profile our community with our student leaders. Ganun kami kasinsin. Because you don't just simply go there saying hi and goodbye. There should be this, challenge on sustainability. And we hear you whenever we speak about sustainability here. It's not just a one-shot deal na pagkatapos ng inyong engagement, wala na. Because we aim to empower our community. So from that pagtampisaw, paglusong, pagbabad, pagsisid, hanggang sa sila ay makaahon, we replicate. That's the time together with that particular community. We do it together. And if there's a possibility that they do it, this time sila naman at ibabahagi nila sa isang komunidad, well, that's already a welcome mission. That's already an impactful accomplishment for us na, hey, at least we are doing something, not just for ourselves, because definitely I'm learning from all of these missionary engagements. We are definitely learning because aside from that, aside from these livelihood programs we have on capacitating women, we also have the cacao projects in Tublay. Of course, we are not that expert, but we tap the expertise of our partner agencies. Kaya nga nandun yung planning. We invest on planning, but at the same time, the implementation phase, together with, of course, evaluating all of our programs. And that's how we do it systematically, especially in the academe. Aside from, of course, the biodiversity project, we also have this waste segregation and, of course, management. We have the community composting projects through our compost barrel. That is from the School of Engineering and Architecture. Kasi sa amin, whenever we speak about community engagement here, dapat bago ka tumulong, meron ka bang sapat na kaalaman? Tama ba yung ibabahagi mo? So we capacitate. And at the same time, we get experts coming from the School of Engineering and Architecture because we also have limitations when it comes to community engagement. So dapat lang na expertise base yan, no? And aside from that, we also have this recycling drives, of course, with the help of our Research and Innovation Center. Katuwang namin ang research center dito sa universidad para siguraduhin na lahat ng mga ginagawa namin backed up by research and at the same time systematic, scientific. Meron talagang makabuluhang pinaghuhugutan o pinanggagalingan. We also have the upcycling workshops, of course, in partnership with the local government unit. They visited us last time. Actually, that is an annual program in partnership with our city government. Aside from that, we have the main project of our university president on sustainable infrastructure and energy, the solar panel installation. Ang laki po ng natipid ni university because of this project. And of course, the solar-powered street lamps na hindi lang po namin ginagawa sa aming paaralan, but definitely we do it to our community, our partner community, which is the Happy Halo Barangay, one of the indigenous communities here in Baguio City. And proximity-wise, yun yung kagandahan kasi malapit siya sa university. Hindi kagaya ng Sitio Dumolpos, Tinongdan, Itogon, Benguet. You have to wake up as early as 3 a.m. to reach the community because that is 5 hours away from here. And resources-wise, kailangan mo ng 4x4 na sasakyan. Yung 4 na gulong dapat umiikot because of the rough road or the rocky road, as they say. But yeah, it's really a fun experience and at the same time, inspiring journey for us to really keep going, push through with our mission, to get the job done. And we don't just simply approach it as a job kasi nagiging way of life siya. And that's how we term volunteerism, as emphasized by Director Gawe, volunteerism as a way of life. So in a way, systematically planned siya, carefully planned, hanggang sa, you know what, it's already part of your formation process to just simply, okay, say yes and yes all the time. We also have our environmental education advocacies. Ang dami po, no, just to share with you. Of course, community cleanup drives as well. Water is Life project from our university president. We give free water. Meron pa kaming system dito sa university with with 5 campuses we have in the university. Lahat po yan ay merong sariling Water is Life station. Of course, in partnership with our supplier and the KB World. Just to mention, baka may gustong mag-replicate, pwedeng-pwede po, no? Because they're also our partners in the mission. At malaking tulong sila for us to really ensure that we have this responsible and safe engagement with our stakeholders. So yeah, more of these engagements because we are truly inspired by the Lord as we continue to assess, implement,
Mhm.
and reflect on the many missions we have. Kasi ang dami, sa totoo lang, ang dami nating dapat gawin. With the pressures coming here, there, and everywhere, mapapaisip ka, ano ba ang karapat-dapat gawin? Hindi lang para sa aking kapwa, definitely for the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much po, Dr. So, ako po yung nagagalak no, na marinig ang bawat isa po na senior niyo po sa amin no, na mga initiatives ng inyong paaralan no, sa SLU. And ang ganda po kasi you don't just dive into it, no? Like, marami po kayong background na pag-aaral hanggang sa kasi po, nagagandahan po ako kasi nga hindi lang siya ilo-launch yung project or yung initiative, kundi pati na kung paano ba masustain no, yung ganong initiative.
Yes po, tama po yun. Napakalaga talaga ng masinsing pagpaplano sa simula hanggang sa pagtatapos. That's why we always journey with our students. You know what? That's also part of my mission that whenever I endorse, I approve, or we endorse, we approve specific projects of our youth leaders. I tell them, please do invite me. I have to witness what you are doing, what you have been doing, and what are your plans for the community, because it's but proper for us to know ano ba nangyayari. Allow us to understand the context of your mission, so that hindi lang kami basta nandito para makinig, but definitely there is this witnessing going on. And yeah, I love listening to our student leaders. Ang gaganda ng kanilang mga ideya. So it's but proper to also journey with this youth and guide them according to the university's direction as well. And that's my role in the community. I find it like my common grounding. Kailangan kaisa ako. Kumbaga parang pressure sa akin na whenever we endorse, whenever we approve, oh, I have to see to it that I am seeing, I am discerning, and definitely we are acting. So that's the challenge, no? Being with the community, actually.
And maganda po yun po para po sa akin, no? Na, like, sa iyo po, nakikita ko, nag-enjoy ka po. And para sa akin, parang purpose niyo na din po.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I hear you. Thank you for listening. It takes one to really embody, this mission. Kasi nakakahabag kung alam mo, pero wala kang ginagawa.
Yes.
That's just my call. That's just
Yes po. And pangatlo po nating katanungan, Ma'am Mendoza. What role po does a service learning such as the NSTP or extension programs play in advancing environmental advocacy within your institution?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, I'm still on the process of reflecting. Tama yun, kasi bumabalik tayo sa disenyo na sa loob ng apat na sulok ng klaseng ito. Ano ba ang aking layunin bilang isang guro? Because I, as an advocate of the National Service Training Program, I see to it na nandun yung puso. So it's very good that for our students to understand such project, there should be this willingness, there should be this formation behind all of this, trying to listen to them, trying to understand their context. Hindi lang siya basta designed by demand na kung ano lang yung gusto mong gawin. Kaya nga lagi, sinasaalang-alang natin that whenever our students come up with a service learning program inside the classroom, because it would take them the preliminary session inside the classroom. We have three terms, no, sa klase: prelim, midterm, and final. So prelim pa lang dapat masinsin ka na sa pagpaplano. Siguraduhin mo na hindi lang ikaw yung nakakaintindi, katuwang mo ang iyong mga estudyante, kasi napakahirap na ikaw lang yung nag-o-own ng iyong programa. Kaya nga, I'm always inspired by my students. Believe me, this is what I fought for. Others would say, bakit ka pa magtuturo? I just don't know because it's but proper, no? As a teacher, by profession, it's but proper also that I practice what I preach. And definitely with my mentoring and together with our students, the youth, ang ganda kasi lagi nakikipag-usap sa kanila. Kaya siguro nagmumukha daw akong bata kasi na-embody ko na rin yung kanilang, free-spirited, lively, vibrant aura. Na tama naman. Sabi ko, nakakahawang energy nila. It's just that, of course, sometimes others are not like that. You really have to tame them. Because whenever we speak about National Service Training Program here, it is indeed a training program. You have to ensure that there is this discipline, there is this respect, there is this compassion going on. Kaya nga lagi, no, I believe in the power of communication, the power of dialogue. It is a powerful tool for us to ensure that our students would definitely ground themselves dun sa katotohanan na ito yung pangangailangan. They respond to particular needs. They don't just simply listen to others saying, you know, lahat tayo may pangangailangan, but we go to these missionary stations. Kaya nga, di ba, yung ating advocacies on the CICM Trust, on the SEA Catholic Education Association of the Philippines advocacies, on GPG, as mentioned earlier, and of course, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Naka-anchor po tayo doon because definitely they are targeting those priority areas in various communities. And as one way, of course, to share, no, just to share with you, that the participatory rapid rural appraisal we've been doing since way back 2019, since I've accepted this mission here in the community, katuwang ang komunidad sa pagkilala sa tunay na pangangailangan. Sila mismo ang magsasabi at hindi tayo. And of course, that's very basic for some. But we believe that this approach would definitely help us understand and respond to, ito nga yung call to action natin, kasi batay sa pangangailangan at hindi lang sa kung ano yung sinasabi ng iba. Because we've noticed that maybe that's our mission that, okay, others would say, kailangan ko to, kailangan ko yun, kailangan ko ang lahat. But of course, hindi naman lahat kayang ibigay ng institusyon. It takes a village to really come up with an impactful program. At bawat isa ay may magagawa. Hindi mo pwedeng iasa sa iba lang. Kaya nga sabi ko yung responsibilidad na alam mo at kaisa ka, naiintindihan mo kung ano yung pangangailangan ng komunidad. At doon ka kikilos nang naaayon sa kung ano yung gustong mangyari ng lahat, hindi lang ng iisa. So yeah, service learning program is indeed a powerful tool for us to ensure that we monitor them from the grassroots need up to the empowerment stage. Kaya nga yung again, with that 6 stages, we make sure that na-incorporate natin, na-i-implement din natin yon doon sa mga service learning programs na meron tayo. And I'm truly blessed na nabibigyan din ako ng pagkakataon na ma-share yon sa mga estudyante ko, lalong-lalo na sa NSTP. And of course, not forgetting our student leaders as well. This is one way because we do the focus session, we do the plenary session with our youth. At lagi ko sinasabi, ang feedback ko, ang sarap lang sa pakiramdam na nakikinig ka sa mga estudyante at pinapakinggan ka ng mga nakikinig sa iyo. So again, the two-way process, no? Yeah, thank you.
Salamat po. And ang ganda po kasi yun nga po yung sabi niyo na hindi lang isa yung nag-identify ng challenge o ng problema, kundi mismo galing sa komunidad and then mag-a-act yung school kung ano ba ang pwedeng magawa, no? Na naayon, of course, sa inyong, of course, sa school din. And sa lahat ng mga, kumbaga marami yung nag-identify kung okay ba ito, maraming sumusuri. Parang ang ganda po nun, no?
Yeah, that's correct. I totally agree with you.
Opo. And sa pang-apat po natin at huli nating katanungan, ma'am, how do you encourage po students to actively participate in environmental volunteer efforts beyond the classroom?
Oh yeah, again, that's a very challenging question, but allow me to just go back to our context in the academe, no, the university. At St. Louis University, we recognize meaningful environmental advocacies which extends beyond the classroom. And tama yun, yung theory into action. Mission nga natin, no? We intentionally cultivate a culture where students are, of course, motivated. Ito nga yung sinasabi ko na kapag motivated ang mga bata, hindi mahirap para sa kanila ang pagboboluntaryo. At kung naiintindihan nila kung ano yung kanilang gagawin, hindi ganun kahirap. And of course, equipping them with the necessary skills they need to be aware of. Aside from that, we also invest on the inspiration for us to keep going, not just them, but also us implementers and organizers of this particular activity. Siguro yung tatlong yun, no? The term is we keep our volunteers motivated, we equip them, and at the same time we continue inspiring them. And yeah, we encourage active participation through the coordination of formation, mga ganyan, the binadang stages as I've mentioned. We also provide opportunity to be part of the participatory rapid rural appraisal, grounded on the needs, yung talagang alam nila at meron silang kakayahang makilala kung ano yung pangangailangan ng komunidad with the many methods and approaches we have in the university. Ang dami, no? So katuwang namin ang mga mahuhusay pagdating sa pagkilala at pagtuklas ng mga ganitong o pagdalumats sa mga ganitong bagay-bagay. And lastly, we also invest on the recognition through the binadang pagkilala, pasasalamat at parangal. Di ba, the word is gratitude. It's one way also to celebrate their volunteerism. Na kahit pa paano may nakakakita pala sa kanila, may nakakaramdam pala sa kanila, may nagpapahalaga pala sa mga natatagong efforts nila because others would want to be exposed. Like, I'll just simply be with you. But through the office, we're doing our best that, just to share with you, kahit tapos na ng mga estudyante ko, because I was able to scout color guards from my classes, my NSTP classes, kahit natapos na ang kanilang NSTP, I have these core mentors, group of color guards na nagvo-volunteer every graduation. And not only that, they extend. Ganun sila ka-excited na hindi lang nila ginagawa sa mga graduation ceremonies, but also outside, may mga invitation na graduate na mga ito, pero bakit kaya bumabalik pa rin sila? So with that being said, parang, you know what, sabi ko nga meron pala talaga tayong mission. Because it's just a matter of acknowledging, appreciating our students, and at the same time, ensuring that they are valued. Alam nila na may nakikinig sa kanila, alam nilang may nakakakita sa kanila sa lahat ng ginagawa nila. So sa akin, just to summarize everything, SLU definitely moves from participation to ownership. So ang galing lang, no, na mula sa simpleng pakikipagbahagi, soon na-embody nila yung spirit of volunteerism. Finally, they can say, aha, Eureka, ito pala yun. That's why I keep on saying, definitely in our community, we create initiatives for compassion and perhaps mercy, diba? Yung konsepto ng awa. Pero yung awa na alam mo na kaya mong tulungan ng ibang tao at kaya nilang tulungan ang kanilang mga sarili. Thank you.
Ang ganda po, no? Ang ganda po na binahagi niyo po sa amin. Mas kaya ako po na-inspired po. Thank
Aw.
you so much, Dr. Charmaine Mendoza.
Yes, soon to be
Sige po, maraming
doctor.
maraming salamat.
Manifesting that. Thank you as well.
Aha. Okay po. Salamat po, and I hope you can still stay to participate po din sa discussion natin together with our SOV winners on their volunteering initiatives for the environment. At ngayon po, no, sa ikaapat nating panauhin, dako na po tayo kay Miss Mayan Badajos, ang SOV Regional Youth Awardee 2025. Good morning po, Miss Mayan.
Isang makalikasang araw po sa inyong lahat. Pagbati po sa lahat ng mga tagapakinig at tagapanood ng programa. Maraming salamat po sa PNVSCA sa imbitasyon po para sa umagang ito. Muli ako po si Mayan M. Badajos, currently a 5th year DS Architecture student from Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology and a recipient of SOB Central Luzon Region's Outstanding Volunteer Award last year. So in our university, I'm part of our student publication, which is The Blaze, and I'm also affiliated with the regional and national campus editors organizations where I engage in journalism and responsible storytelling. In terms of leadership and community work, have been actively involved po in youth organizations such as Kaya Natin Youth, which is the youth arm of Kaya Natin Movement for Good Governance and Ethical Leadership. And kahit nasa college na po ako, I'm still part of the Girl Scouts of the Philippines.
Wow. Sir, college student pa din, ano? You're in 5th year?
Yes po, 5th year.
Okay, you're in 5th year. So, may mga katanungan ako sa iyo, ano? Una dito, what inspired you to start volunteering for environmental causes at a young age?
Siguro to share my story, my environmental advocacy po didn't start from something really big. It started with simple experiences. Like I've mentioned, I've been part of the Girl Scouts of the Philippines as early as in my elementary school. So, sumasali po ako sa mga tree planting activities. And that time, honestly, ginagawa ko lang siya because it was required or part of a school activity. But as I grew older, especially after experiencing like Typhoon Karding in our province, which is Nueva Ecija, mas na-realize ko po na yung mga environmental issues are not really distant. They affect our homes, our communities, and our livelihoods. And they are very real. And nakikita po natin kung paano yung mga community ay naapektuhan, kung paanong yung pagbaha ay nakaapekto sa pang-araw-araw na buhay ng mga magsasaka ng Nueva Ecija and how recovery is not easy. And that shifted me na from just participating in those tree planting activities, mas naging intentional po ako as what Ma'am Charmaine said. Na-realize ko na yung mga small actions na ginagawa natin, yung mga nade-develop natin at an early age, if we don't take full responsibility of it, mauulit at mauulit yung same problems na nararanasan natin every time. So that realization really pushed me to stay involved in this advocacy.
Ako, maraming salamat. Miss Mayan, no? O nga pala, tatawagin na natin yung ating dalawa pa, no, na SOV awardee. Ang ating ikalima at saka ika-anim na panauhin, si Mr. Shin Milger Ochavo, yung SOV National Youth Awardee 2024, at saka kay Mr. Kurt Russell Marshall, the President ng Lupo ng mga individual na nangangalaga ng Kalikasan Incorporated. Magandang umaga din po sa inyong dalawa, Mr. Shin at Mr. Kurt.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Okay. Mr. Shin, magandang umaga. Sige po. So, Mr. Yun na po yun, no, kan Miss Anne, so, May Anne, kanya pong sagot sa una nating naging inspirasyon niya sa pag-start ng volunteering. Bata pa po siya sa, kumbaga, simpleng pag-volunteer hanggang sa natuloy-tuloy na. How about ikaw po, Sir Mr. Kurt? Paano po ba nag-start yung inyong pag-volunteer?
Ayan, so first of all po, no, let me do a proper introduction and greetings as well sa ating mga
Mhm.
tagapakinig. Ayan,
Mm.
so isang makakalikasang umaga po sa ating lahat. I am Kurt Russell Marshall. Ayan, again, good morning po sa ating mga tagapakinig. May I also take this opportunity to thank the Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency and the Radio Moscovado for inviting me and our organization to be one of the esteemed guests. Ayan, and naimbag na bigat, as we say in Iloco po. So, once again, I am Kurt Russell Marshall po, the current president of the Lupo ng mga individual na nangangalaga ng kalikasan incorporated or most commonly known as LINK. Ayan, so we are a NGO and a youth-led organization, also a youth network based in La Union. So uh, our vision is to build a community of young greens through environmental action, conservation, and education as well. So we actually received the Outstanding Volunteer Award back in 2022, where we were given the regional awardee for Region 1, and we were also a national finalist. So personally po, uh, um, I am again the current president of Link, and I also do a volunteering engagement via a Global Peace Foundation, and I am also a citizen scientist, and of course a Kurma Youth Ambassador. And I am also a student. I am taking up my bachelor's degree or pre-law in political science at DIMSU and Lukpo. And I actually plan on taking my law school sa SLU. So see you there po, Ma'am Charmaine. Ayan. So to answer your question po, how did environmental stewardship uh, s- spoke to me is I grew up in a broken family po kasi, and most of the time mag-isa lang po ako, and whenever I feel alone or lonely, it's really my coping mechanism to go to nature kasi malapit kami dati sa Sapa. Tapos lagi akong pumupunta doon kapag mag-isa ako sa bahay, kailangan ko ng companionship. I actually go there to, ayun, yung sinasabi nating nature bathing ba yun? Yung sinasabi ni Sir kanina from the DNR. And from that, I actually slowly understand the way of nature, and na-appreciate ko kung ano ba yung tinutulong or nakukuha nating benefits from them. And also, I also believe that nature is therapeutic. So sa mga taong may mga mental health problems or kapag nakakaranas tayo ng kalungkutan, burnout, lalo na in this economy and sa mga nangyayaring issues sa ating lipunan ngayon, just go to nature kasi talagang napakalaki ng naiaambag nito sa ating mental well-being. And from that, I actually started joining organizations, school-based organizations. So I started joining youth environment in schools organization or YESO in elementary, and then I was elected president in grade 9, tapos nag-join naman na ako ng Link later on nung lumipat ako dito sa La Union. And from that on, I really felt the passion of environmentalism. And now, I think I am going to this track na in my life.
Ako nafi-feel ko, Mr. Kurt, yung enthusiasm. Nafi-feel ka hanggang dito.
Ay,
Okay,
grabe.
ulit po, Mr. Shin Milger Ochavo, SOV National Youth Award 2024. Magandang umaga po.
Hello po, magandang umaga sa lahat.
Mhm. Sige po. So, pwede niyo po ba mapakilala ang inyong sarili?
Okay po, sa ulit din, ako po si Shin Milcher Chavo. And right now, I'm in Butuan City, Caraga Region. And I am the Executive Director of Ikilus Bayugan. So this is a community youth-led organization here in the region. Tapos yung focus namin mainly is yung environment stewardship and also yung volunteerism of the youth sector. So we have actually we have 60 members right now, volunteer members that focuses on doing activities for biodiversity conservation and low carbon development. So right now we are really focusing muna sa advocacy namin sa active transportation sa Caraga region. So ayun, I would like to plug din na kasi palaro pabansa ngayon and it will be conducted in Agusan del Sur. So we have bicycle there. So if someone from our audience or viewers na gusto pumunta sa palaro pabansa, we have bicycles for in Agusan del Sur para magamit. But it's free and actually we're focusing or we are using that to consolidate data how much carbon emissions are avoided if we are using or shifting and using bicycles. And also, ayun, ako po yung one of the National Outstanding Volunteer Award in 2024 sa youth category. So magandang umaga sa lahat po, maayong buntag sa lahat.
Wow. So, salamat po, no, Mr. Shin Melcher. So, una pong katanungan, at itanong ko na po ito sa ating dalawang panauhin po. Ano po yung naging inspiration mo to mag-start or nang nag-start ka po ng volunteer at environmental causes at a young age po?
So sorry for pakiulit po because I plug out my earphones kasi hindi yung okay yung mic ko. So I think kamagan po sa questions.
Sige po. So, una po nating katanungan, what inspired you to start volunteering for environmental causes at a young age?
Ayan. So comparing with other leaders for environment, yung sa akin kasi it's more on being eye-opener. Naging eye-opener yung epekto ng climate change sa akin. So for starters, I started our organization when I was in between 19 and 20 years old. So at that young age, it was during the pandemic or the post-pandemic, post-quarantine, post-quarantine. So it was 2021. Actually, I was volunteering in other sectors, but somehow it brings or this manifested so much in environmental sector during or after the post-pandemic. It was like everything was paused, the economy, the transportation sector, everything was stopped, everything was paused for that time. And apparently, no, I don't romanticize the pandemic, but somehow that scenario, that circumstance brings the environment to heal. No? So there were numerous reports and data from that time na naging clear yung sky ng Metro Manila. And it was also apparent or actually observable also in our region na parang naging okay temperatura. The sky was better, the pollution is somewhat paused for that time. And somehow because of that eye-opener, parang why we wait for this circumstance na umabot tayo na magkaroon to have this better sky, better air, if we can do it, no? So that's how we started the organization. That's how I started volunteering for this environmental sector. No, it's really important na because somehow right now the climate change, the air pollution somehow it's like problematic, and we have seen how the Philippines is very dependent and burning or using fossil fuels and also the oil. No, it's very important. Everything was affected because of that, and somehow because of that happening before and post the pandemic na naging manifestation siya ng volunteerism for the environment. So it was like eye-opener yung naging epekto ng pag-pause ng lahat, especially the transport sector. So yun po.
So maraming salamat, Mr. Sir Shin Melcher Ochava, no. Talaga naman po nakaka-inspire ang inyong mga pagbo-volunteer at a young age, no. At saka yung alam niyo yung nalaman ninyo, no, na at saka yung motivation ninyo, no? Talagang sa sarili, sa ating paligid, no? Sa kanya-kanyang mga experiences sa buhay. And pangalawa po nating tanong para po sa inyong tatlo to, can you share po a specific project or initiative that you led that contributed to protecting the environment or promoting sustainability? Unahin po natin si Miss May Ann Badajos.
So, siguro po on my end,
Mhm.
to share one of the most meaningful initiatives that I led. Siguro when I was in grade 9, when I was applying for the Chief Girl Scout Medal Scheme, meron pong isang area in our community na madalas pinagtatambakan ng basura. So, with the help of our organization, we clean the area, nilinis po namin siya, and transform it into a small garden para makapagtanim sila ng mga gulay at may mapagkuhanan yung community. So, yung pinagtatambakan ng basura, siya kasi yung na-identify ng barangay na madalas pinagmumulan nung pagbaha sa aming barangay. So, kagaya nung nabanggit ni Ma'am Charmaine kanina, maganda na magkaroon ng sustainability. So, for the sustainability, we went to the barangay and talked to the community para ma-realize nila kung gaano ka-important nung participation nila towards that initiative. So, we also went to nearby school para turuan yung mga younger students how to plant and take care of the environment kasi we believe na it's important to teach them while still they're young. So, katulad ko, nagsimula lang din naman ako sa pagtatanim ng mga puno or sa pag-join ng mga school initiatives. So, maganda na inilalapit natin sa mga eskwelahan, sa mga bata, yung mga ganitong initiative. So, naging participatory yung approach natin. And 8 years later, it's really fulfilling to know na napapakinabangan pa rin siya ng community. Some parts were affected by the road widening, pero it's good to know po na may natira pa rin, and for me that already means a lot, and it shows that even small efforts can last, especially when the community is involved. So, until now, yun yung pinangahawakan namin sa mga activities na ginagawa namin, especially in environmental initiatives, whether it's tree planting or urban gardening, community cleanup drives, plastic reduction or recycling initiatives, or even participation in barangay level programs. We make sure that we apply the bottom-up approach. Kailangan na sasabihin ng university or yung community na pinagsisilbihan natin kung ano yung problema at doon natin i-align yung solution. Hindi dapat manggagaling sa atin kung ano yung kailangan nila kasi sila mismo yung nakaka-experience nun. So, maganda na nakikipag-dialogue tayo sa kanila, and katulad nga nun, nakikita nila mismo kung saan pinanggagalingan ng baha kasi sila na yung matagal na nakatira doon and sila yung nakaka-experience nun. And as well as ano yung mga possible solutions. So sila din yung nag-offer ano yung mga vegetables na dapat namin itanim, ano yung mga initiatives na dapat natin gawin. And tayo lang yung may manpower and may resources. So yun yung pwede nating maitulong sa mga initiatives in our community na gusto nating tulungan.
Wow. Ang ganda, no? At saka, ako, kumbaga, nakinig ka talaga na naigig kang Dr. Charmaine kanina, no? And malinaw na, alam mo yun, pinapakita ng iyong initiative din, no? Until now, nag-i-exist pa din. So, talagang sustainable.
Yes po.
Mhm.
Fortunately, by God's grace po is nagagamit pa rin siya and napagkukuhanan pa rin ng mga community members yung specific place po na yun.
Mhm. And I would like to commend you for that. And how about po kay Mr. Sheen Milger Otavo naman po?
Okay, kanina I mentioned about yung sa transportation. So I would like to highlight that actually we have several projects and organization, but I want to highlight the urban systems. So yun po, right now we are focusing on the urban systems, and we are layouting or actually doing 3 parts of this systems and local urban development. The first one is to provide or provide this type of capacity building and awareness, because especially something like this, um, talking about the problem, especially the environmental issues, and at the same time, motivating other people, especially the youth, is one thing to solve the problem. Kasi actually with this, I'm very fortunate and happy na na-invite ulit tayo sa PNPCA na online talks. Actually doing this, we were able to um, motivate also other people, and also ano, yung best practices na sinasabi natin ngayon could be replicated. And that's something na really special with this discussion. And also, no, especially the youth, no, na some actually as a youth and before, no, na or as a young leader na nagsa-start pa lang to navigate as a leader, they found it very hard to where to start. But somehow, because of discussions, because of these motivations, they will start to act their own climate actions, di ba? So that's one thing also na ginagawa namin sa organizations for volunteerism for environment. At the same time, since actually I really emphasize na dapat may integration din of this feasibility, and also yung there should be a tangible impact in the community. So ginagawa namin because we really want to have also this circumstance na dapat mabalik yung, di ba, yung clear sky, at the same time yung less yung carbon emissions natin, kasi it somehow contributed to the climate change as a whole. Yung ginagawa namin, since we are focusing or advocating for bike sharing or something like urban systems or active mobility or active transportations using bicycle or as a mode of transportation, also a walkability din ng city. No, so we're pushing or we are installing end-of-trip facilities, or for example yung bike racks and repair stations, because if we are advocating for active mobility, we are advocating for biking as a mode of transportation, we should also give them this infrastructure na this is safe, biking is safe in the as an infrastructure in the city. So it's one na ginagawa namin to provide them this access for this infrastructure na pwede pala na this is safe because we have this infrastructure. No, so we are actually also tapping the government, collaborating with the government to have this policy. No, so and also another thing is right now what I am very proud of is that we are implementing bike sharing system. So it's a pilot right now. So we have 2 communities right now we are serving for our bike sharing system. So we provide bicycles in the communities, 2 communities, Kinabusan Resort and Caraga State University. So what we are doing is to consolidate data instead of using yung mga motor vehicles. So how much carbon emissions are reduced or avoided if they are using these bicycles na pinuprovide namin sa school. No? So sa school, there are some fee, but somehow in Agusan Resort, that lahat ay free. So that's why I'm plugging kanina yung if you're going to visit Agusan Resort for Palarong Babansa, we have bicycles there you can use since we are consolidating data. No? So actually last year, we have consolidated 2,000 bike rides using our bicycles. Tapos we consolidate that or we transform that or we we convert that into metric tons of carbon dioxide na na-avoid. And apparently that's so much 2,000 bike rides in that last year have provided us these metric tons of carbon emissions na na-avoid natin. Especially it's also relatable then ngayon kasi we are actually in the crisis of oil, and this is very important. This project I really seen it as very important because it's right now we have seen how dependent the Philippines is in the burning fossil fuels. By shifting the people or advocating the people to shift from these vehicles into more walkability, to have a active transportation, especially also integration of the infrastructure and the policy. No, so we will have a change of transportation sector as a whole. Yung mode of transportation will be shifted, di ba? And somehow because this is very important also because apparently from the data, 10% of the carbon emissions or greenhouse gases come from the transport sector. So imagine how much that carbon emissions are contributing for climate change, di ba? So, ayan. And also, the last one is in this specific project, we actually acknowledge the importance of policy. Di ba? We are volunteers in environment, but somehow, di ba, it's challenging kasi we don't have incentives to continue. But because of we embed that this advocacy, this project with the policy, then we can actually imagine the long term, the sustainability of these projects. No, so that's why since you know sometimes yung volunteers kasi it will last 1 year, 2 to 3 years, but how about the project? It will last lang ba hanggang 3 years? So how can we make it long term or it will run for a long run, di ba? So we have to embed it with the policy. That's why we are tapping, we're collaborating, we're partnering with the LGUs, different departments, especially the City Transportation Traffic Management, the DNR, para mapa long term, para yung project natin is embedded with the policy, para hindi lang siya pang 2 to 3 years, di ba? Because the problem din kasi sa volunteerism is yung sustainability, di ba? For example, yung common na ginagawa ng mga agencies, departments is tree planting, but somehow after that one day event, how can you be sure na tutubo or maging cultivation yung planted tree, di ba? Hindi tayo sure. So that's why in our advocacy and in our volunteerism environment, we have to we are partnering with the government to embed it with the policy. All our projects will be embedded with the policy in the future. So yun yung sa amin.
So ang ganda po. Salamat po sa pagbahagi, Mr. Shin Milcher, ng inyo pong specific na project, the providing bicycle po. No? Sige po, so dako na po tayo sa pangatlo nating, or pang-anim nating panauhin. Mr. Kurt Russell, ano po ba sa inyo naman yung specific project or initiative na niled nyo po at nag-contribute sa pag-protect ng environment or pag-promote ng sustainability?
Ayan. So for me naman po, actually, last year, July 2025, La Union was struck by 2 powerful typhoons. One of which was a super typhoon, tapos yung isa naman is yung regular typhoon lang. So magkasunod yun na naglandfall dito sa La Union, and one of which nga yung Bagyong Emong, which kahit na typhoon lamang siya ay napakalakas. It was very destructive. Sa amin, dito sa tinutulayan ko, actually, we actually live in a modern kubo. So nung dumako dito or naglandfall dito yung Bagyong Emong, actually itong tinutuluyan ko na ito na modern kubo ay bumagsak. So ganun lamang yung makikita natin doon kung gaano kalakas yung bagyong nagdaan, and paano pa kaya yung mga ibang mga Ilocos na walang ganun kakonkretong mga bahay. So from that, we launch Lingkod Danggayan. Its rationale is Danggayan. The word Danggayan is an Ilocos term which means unity or bayanihan. So yung Lingkod Danggayan was a clean up and clear up mobilization wherein we did initiatives from 3 municipalities, San Juan, Bawang, Agoo, and one city, the city of San Fernando. Nag-send kami ng mga volunteers to lend their hands kasi nga kabataan lang kami that time, and iniisip namin paano kami makakatulong. Wala naman kaming mga mechanisms or wala kaming kakayahan to donate financially. So naisip namin, ano kayang gagawin namin? Ang kaya lang naman naming i-lend is our helping hands and our spirit of volunteerism. So doon nag-spike na ang dami palang mga kabataan na gustong tumulong sa nangyaring bagyo na yun. And actually, we gathered about more than 400 volunteers that time, and that birthed also to our Lingkod Danggayan community na kung iisipin namin paano namin paano namin gagawing sustainable tong project na to. Eh, tumubo lang kasi siya that time in the middle of chaos or in the middle of crisis. And naisip namin, what if we make this as a community? So from that, nagkaroon kami ng mga different clusters from different municipalities and city na kapag nagkakonduct naman kami ng mga another activities, doon na kami kumukuha ng mga volunteers. And hanggang ngayon, nakakakuha pa rin kami ng mga volunteers doon sa mga clusters and communities na yon. And up until now, nakikita namin na ang active-active pa rin nila. And actually, one of the clusters there, yung Bawang cluster, it actually fueled to create another organization called Sangbayan, and now a Yorp registered organization as well. And nakikita namin doon na kahit nakabataan lang kami, kahit na wala kaming pera or kokonti lamang yung mechanism namin, may magagawa kami. At makakatulong kami sa gitna ng krisis at marami kaming maihahandog para sa ating lipunan. Kasi nga, di ba sabi ni Gatot Rizal, ang kabataan ng pag-asa ng bayan. At pinapakita namin ngayon na kahit kabataan pa lang kami, ay naaasahan na kami ng ating bayan. And hindi lang ng ating bayan, at katulad din, of course, ng ating kalikasan. And tuwan-tuwa ako na kapag nakakasalubong ko sila, nagtatanong sila, talagang they're also very enthusiastic and very eager to volunteer. Nagtatanong sila, Kuya Kurt, ano po yung susunod na activity namin? Gusto po namin mag-join. And nagkakahikayat pa sila ng mga bagong mga volunteers. And nakakatuwa na it is really true na ang environmental stewardship is innate to us human and of course sa ating mga kabataan. And it's really high time to teach the youth as well na sila ang aasahan ng ating kalikasan and tayo ang magngangalaga nito for the current generations and the generations to come. Yun po.
Wow. Salamat po, Mr. Kurt. No, ako I believe din hirap po no na i-encourage yung iba lalo na pag hindi talaga sila motivated. So ako po pag nakita po ng isa na ang ganda pala, nakakatulong, alam mo yung may kabuluhan talaga yung ginagawa. Eventually, no, little by little, step by step, ang isa't isa ay alam ko pong magpa-participate na din. At ako po, saludo po ako sa inyo.
Yes po, thank you po.
At sige po, dako na po tayo sa ating panghuling katanungan po para sa inyong tatlo. Sa inyong pong opinion, what role does the youth play in addressing environmental issues such as climate change and pollution? Sige po, unahin po natin si Miss Mayan.
Siguro po for me personally, I believe the role of the youth is not just important, it is urgent and necessary. Nararapat at dapat na po na kumilos ang mga kabataan when it comes to environmental issues. We're often told na we are the future, but in reality is we are already living the consequences of climate change and pollution today. Hindi na ito abstract issue for us. We see it in stronger typhoons na na-mention ni Kurt po kanina, in urban planning issues na na-mention ni Sir Sheen, in rising costs of food, and the impact of environmental issues in communities like ours in Nueva Ecija. Because of that, our role goes beyond awareness. It's not enough to join activities or post online. The real responsibility of the youth is to translate that awareness into consistent and everyday action. So kahit hindi siya natin nakikita, hindi pa natin nakikita yung long-term effects ng ginagawa natin, just by staying consistent and staying intentional sa mga ginagawa natin, makikita natin yung impact neto in the future. So what makes the youth powerful is that we are both adaptable and influential. We can shape mindsets, start conversation, and challenge the systems. But we also have to stay grounded and willing to learn from the communities na pinagsiserva natin. We may not have the answers ngayon, but we cannot afford to be passive. So, kung hindi tayo mag-a-act ngayon, seriously, intentionally, and collectively as a youth, then we are simply passing the problem to the next generation. So, mapupunta lang sa susunod na henerasyon yung problema na dinaranas natin ngayon. So, for me, ang role ng kabataan is clear. It is not just to participate, but to lead, to take responsibility for the future that we are already living in.
Wow, salamat po. May ano, punta naman po tayo kay Sir Sheen Melcher. Sir Sheen Melcher, sa inyo pong opinion po, what role does the youth play in addressing environmental issues such as climate change and pollution?
Okay, hello. From what I've observed, no, sa lahat ng, actually, last 2022, what I've seen, or in the last midterm elections, I have seen the youth acting up or doing something to actually change the system. And one thing that I've noticed, no, kasi parang yung role ng youth ngayon is parang they actually have this influence for example, the other sectors, our other generations, of course, that they are the key players for behavioral change. No, they can influence other people to move, especially the government, to correlate policy for the environment. And somehow what I observed that is that they are really capable of doing influence or really changing the narratives in the environment. You know, so right now we have so much in the social medias. Actually, that's one thing for the communications and advocacy awareness in social media. Kasi yung capacity, yung skills ng kabataan ngayon somehow can be used for that communications, that the gap of translating yung science behind the environment and also to make it relatable sa mga mass audience, especially that, you know, climate change sa iba is really difficult to understand, but because of the youth, the power, the creativity, no, it can really bridge that gap, no. So that's one thing. And also one thing I can see, kasi we have also minors, volunteers, ibang-ibang age range sa volunteers and sa aming organizations. What I've seen also is that they have this crazy idea, but if you really think about it, these crazy ideas can really be can be translated into visible or viable na project that somehow tayo hindi natin na-realize na ito pala, it could be actually it's parang makakapagbago sa problema natin sa environment. These crazy ideas of the youth somehow can be impactful in the long run. So what I think is that the creativeness of the youth, their perspective somehow can really help the problem what we have right now in climate change and also the air pollution. And lastly, yung nakita ko is that the participatory of the youth ngayon is very active. So especially in the schools, no, what we have right now, no, sa students natin ngayon, what I've seen is they are so participative in different roles in leadership, and somehow that's really good thing because hindi lang sila parang backseat, but somehow they are in front seat, not only but front seat but also the climate change makers, and that's a good thing kasi hindi lang sila nanonood but somehow they actively participate in doing something for the environment. Yun, kasi apparently some of our volunteers are students from high schools, and yung nakikita namin is yung active participation nila, not only for volunteering, for tree growing, tree planting, but somehow in the participation in the local systems, yung participatory and debate, no? Especially good thing then to highlight or to plug that I hope that the government or other organizations will not use the youth as a means for tokenism, no? Dapat bridge din also yung the youth in terms of policy making, legislation, no? Kasi yung iba, yung organizations, ibang organization, they use the youth for tokenism only, no? Na parang sinasabi lamang na yung youth, they participated in the organization, but somehow hindi siya ramdam because they have this lack of participations. So not only that the youth na lang yung gumagawa, but also there should be this stake at engagement ng lahat ng sector, na and highlighting the importance of the seat for the youth. Yun. So I think yun, balik-balik na quote na the youth is the leader of tomorrow. But somehow, they are the leader today. Kasi yun yung nakikita natin. And ayan, they have this fresh perspective that can be translated into impactful platform climate action that will really, maybe in the future, that will address the problem, what we have right now in climate change and air pollution. So yun.
Thank you so much po, Mr. Shane Milder. Nako naman po tayo kay Mr. Kurt Russell. Para po sa inyo, ano po yung role ng youth in addressing environmental issues such as climate change and pollution po?
Yes. So when I actually became one of the Kurma Youth Ambassador, it was a very immersed activity training program wherein we learned about the ridge trip approach, or ridge, yung mga nangyayari sa ating mga kabundukan ay nakakaapekto din sa nangyayari sa ating urban areas and of course sa ating mga karagatan. So nakita ko doon kung gaano kaganda yung kalikasan kasi pumunta kami sa Lotus Valley. Isa siyang farm, and it was actually transformed into a more sustainable, full of biodiversity location kasi dati siyang rice terraces, and now they transform it into a forest farm. And we also did release some sea turtles kasi Kurma is known to for their sea turtle conservation. And from that experience, it actually strike to me yung I actually developed there the 4 steps of change, wherein nagsa-start siya sa first understanding. Yun nga yung nasabi ko kanina on how us or the people understand the way of nature, and from that step number 2 yung pagkakaroon naman now ng appreciation kung anong naitutulong sa atin ng ating kalikasan. And then next is the action, yung from the understanding and appreciation, magsa-strike siya kung paano mapapatanong mo yung sarili mo, paano ako makakatulong. And from that, the ripple effect comes to play naman. And from that development of that 4 stages of change, I actually realized that the youth should be or has become the initiators ng environmental stewardship. And nakikita ko na bakit nga ba yung kabataan ang dapat nating ihulma or dapat nating i-urge to take steps for our environment, kasi tayo yung may lakas. Tayo yung may drive, tayo yung may gigil, tayo yung may passion to make a difference or to make something valuable or to make something that can help not just the people but the environment itself, 'di ba? And maganda yung format na yon to apply to any environmental activity kasi kailangan pa rin natin ipaalam or iparealize sa kanila kung bakit ba natin ginagawa to, bakit ba tayo nagtatanim ng puno. And from that, we actually do the initiation ourselves to deliver it to different or to our peers, to our co-youth as well. And kung iisipin natin na kabataan lang ako or bata lang ako, paano ako mag-i-initiate? Yung mga kasama natin sa environmental field ay malalaking korporasyon, yun yung mga nakakalaban natin or nakakalaban natin yung mga business entities or business institution na malaki yung mechanism. Pero yung drive kasi natin, yung sense of belongingness, sense of stewardship natin, shared kasi yun shared responsibility siya ng bawat isa, and lalong-lalo na ng kabataan. Yun po.
Thank you po. And nga po, sa ngayon po, to close the event, can we ask po some closing statements from Dr. Mendoza of SLU, from Mr. Hipolito of Manila Water Foundation, and from Dr. Masuda of ACE Compass. Start po natin kay Dr. Mendoza po. Hello po, Dr. Mendoza po of SLU. Okay. Okay po, to close the event, can we ask some closing statements po? Okay, from Mr. Hipolito po of Manila Water Foundation.
Yes, bago ko po ibigay yung aking closing statement, gusto ko pong magpasalamat sa PNVSCA, of course, sa invitation, sa Manila Water Foundation to be part of this online show this morning, and of course to Radyo Moscovado, sa lahat ng mga listeners and viewers. Miss Angel, thank you. First and foremost, I'd like to applaud everyone who shared their insights about what they can do for the environment, and of course, how they can do this with volunteerism. Manila Water Foundation is supportive of all of these efforts, and we hope that we can collaborate one day. And ang masasabi ko lang is that hindi ako sure kung eksakto ba, pero may nagsabi nito, I read about this na that you can become the change that you want to be. So, nasa ating mga kamay talaga yung pagbabago kung gusto natin makita ito sa realidad, no? At sama-sama, tulong-tulong, yun din naman yung tema natin. At nakakatuwa na itong ating show ngayon na 2 oras, tayo ay naabot ng maraming rehiyon, no? Rehiyon mula sa Visayas all the way to the north, sa Baguio, sa Mindanao also, no? So we hope that marami pang ganito mga programa ang patuloy na magpalaganap ng mahalagang impormasyon para sa kalikasan, no? Sa tulong ng volunteerismo. Magandang umaga sa lahat, ay magandang tanghali na pala sa lahat. At kami po sa Manila Water Foundation ay naririto lang po, ready to collaborate, ready to partner, of course to advance the mission of caring for the environment, for biodiversity, and of course for water access, sanitation, and hygiene. And that's why we ask you to final pitch na lang po, no, to like and also to tune in to the Facebook pages of Manila Water Foundation and also the La Mesa Eco Park. And there we will remind you about caring for the environment. And of course, don't forget to wash up, wash up. Thank you po. Damong salamat.
Okay po, no? Maraming salamat po sa ating mga guests, no? Sa mahahalaga ninyong mga ibinahaging kwento ngayong umaga. Mula po sa inyong mga ibinahagi, malinaw po na buhay ang diwa ng volunteerismo sa ating bansa. So lalo na po, no, para sa mga kababaihan at iba't ibang sektor ng ating lipunan. So pinapakita po ng ating talakayan na ang volunteerismo ay hindi lamang po isang gawain, kundi isang sama-samang pagkilos para sa mas maunlad at mas may malasakit na lipunan. So inaanyahan po namin ang lahat ng ating viewers na patuloy po na makipahagi sa mga programa ng PNVESCA at ng ating mga partners na i-follow po ang PNVESCA sa social media pages sa Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, at LinkedIn at abangan ang mga susunod na episodes pa. So tandaan din natin na ipinagdiriwang ngayong taon ng International Volunteer Year for Sustainable Development. Kaya kung nais mong ipamalas at ihandog ang iyong talento para sa mas nakararami, pagkakataon mo nang gawin at ito ngayong International Volunteer Year 2026. Huwag kalimutang i-like, i-share at mag-comment sa ating live stream upang mas marami pa po abot ng mensahe ng volunteerismo. Maaari niyo pong sundan ang mga kaganapan sa Facebook page ng Aklan State University at ng Central Philippine State University. Dito lamang po yan sa 100.5 CPSU Radyo Moscovado, Sweet FM. Maraming salamat po at kita-kits tayo sa sunod na episode ng PNVESCA Online TV. #Be a volunteer, #every contribution matters. Hanggang sa muli po, mabuhay ang volunteerismo.